Tomorrow night, the Canberra Raiders will take on the Broncos in what is being classed as the game of the round. Guess we'll have to see about that. All that and more on today's edition of the Milkman Podcast. Hello and welcome back to the Milkman Podcast. And what a game we have ahead of us. I'm pretty nervous. And if you've been following me on Instagram, Twitter, at Milkman Podcast, you'd know I tipped against the Canberra Raiders this weekend. But who did I tip? I tipped Richmond last night. Who's a genius? I am. I'm a genius. I can't believe it. What a game. I know this is an NRL podcast, and like I said in one of the early episodes, we're meant to hate each other. But man, Carlton fans listening, but wow. Anyway, let's just dive straight in, shall we? I want to talk about I just want to quickly touch on this. And I think from what I've done so far here on the Milkman Podcast, I think I've made this a little formal, and I don't like it. So what I'm going to do is try and make it a little bit more pretending that I'm just sitting on the couch and you're there next to me and we're just talking footy, we're talking all this crap, but also keep it a little bit more professional. Obviously, if you're watching on YouTube and you saw that intro, you'd know what I'm talking about. I sort of want to make it best of both worlds, but also don't want to make it, I want to walk the line. You know what I mean? I want to do this the right way. And I don't know if it's the haircut. If you're watching on YouTube, look at that. The mullet is back. It's back. Obviously, I wasn't doing this podcast when I had my mullet, but I did for a very long time, and it's back, and I'm excited. And mate, yeah, the kid's raring. So let's just get straight into this. So we'll start off with the team list again, just in case you didn't watch on Tuesday. I'll talk you through our team for tomorrow night. Let me find it. Bear with me. I should have had this ready to go. Here it is. So in the fullback, we've got KO Weeks. On the wings, we've got Tamale and Hopewadi, which I actually have grown to really like. That's going to be really good. In the centers, Tamoka and Chris, again. Backs look good. I'm excited. And then the halves, Strange and Fogarty. Fogarty wearing the captains, or going to be the captain. I said captain's armband the other day. I meant that. You know what I mean. Josh Papali'i, Tom Starling, Corey Horsburgh, Hudson Young, Hosking and Smithies are the 8 to 13. Hosking's still there, so we should be all right. Paddy, Sasagi, Nicholson and Mariota in the interchange. And then the emergencies, Levi, Mooney, Chevy Stewart, Michael Ashuma, who had a great week in New South Wales Cup last week, and Ethan Sanders. So not bad. Not a bad team. Obviously, I feel like it's general knowledge. Yeah, I feel like it's general knowledge that Savage and Tarpany are going to be missed. I feel like everyone knows that. I don't think anyone's going to disagree with me on that. They just are. They just are. And yeah. So, but with that being said, Horsburgh apparently, and we'll talk more about Horsburgh later. I just sort of want to get into this for now. I didn't do the banner. What a moron. Game preview versus Brisbane. That should have been up there. My bad. If you're listening, don't worry about that. That does not trouble you at all. That's just for my watchers. That's very unprofessional, and I apologize. Like I said, I'm just trying to walk the line. No. But yeah, a little stat here, a little tidbit of information for your troubles. The Broncos have won 9 of the last 13 games against the Canberra Raiders. And I'm thinking about it now. I think I was there for one of the games we won. So one of the 4 games we won in the last 13, I was there. 2021. And we'll talk more about this later because there's an anecdote I want to use about it. But 2021, I was there against the Broncos. So Yeah, but there you go. I must be the good luck charm. I need to get back to Canberra. More on that in the future. Won't be Canberra though. But yeah, so it doesn't look good for the Raiders. And again, we'll talk more about how we're at home later. But some of my keys to the game, and these might seem a little bland for a lot of people's tastes, but I feel like physicality is one of them. We've got to be physical. They are a big physical team. Obviously, with Paddy Carrigan, I love Paddy. You know, I'm a New South Wales fan. I was going to wait till Origin time to really release that information, but I'm a big New South Wales bloke. You can blame my mum for that. I could have been a Queenslander. I think about that a lot. I could have been a Queensland fan, but no, mum got me into New South Wales, and I had to live through in South Australia, where everyone's a Queensland fan for some reason. I had to live through the eight in a row where, you know, you'd get the people that don't even watch NRL, that just watch it 3 times a year in State of Origin. As a kid, mind you, I was in primary school and high school, and they'd go, 8 in a row, suck that. And I was like, why, Mum? This is your fault. Thanks, Mum. She's probably going to watch this. So we need to be physical. Obviously, with the big boys we got in, you know, Hudson Young, he will have no problem with it. Zach Hoskins, Morgan Smithies, get in there, son. Get in there. I need a big physical game from Morgan Smithies. Hudson Young, Corey Horsburgh, Josh Papali'i. Get into him, son. Get into him. That's what we need from them. And so I'm getting a phone call. I'm just going to tell them that I'm recording. Sorry about that. But, you know, we need a big game from those blokes. So watch this space. I'm telling you now, Horsburgh needs to bash someone's head in. Papali'i needs to do the same. Hudson Young needs to do the same. Everyone in the forward pack except for Tom Starling, he just needs to be a tunnel rat. He just needs to put his head where most people wouldn't put their feet. He just needs to run it. He just needs to go, go, go. And that's another key to the game. Run, run, run. Our backs need to go, especially without Xavier Savage. He's a big part of this back line. He's a big loss, and Tarpany is too, because he would have been very handy against the Broncos, and he's missing next week as well. But Savage is only 1 game on the sideline. We might be okay. But Tarpany, that's a huge loss. But we need a run. You know, KO Weeks need a big game from him. Tamale, he really impressed me against the Wars, and he can back this up now. We've had a week break. Obviously, that could be detrimental, but it might not be as well. Who knows? Tomoko, he needs a big game. He played pretty well against the Wars as well. I'm sure he'll be fine. Hopewadi, and one I'm not sure about, Seb Chris. I'm sure he'll be fine. I think this is going to be a huge year for Seb Chris, but again, we'll get to that later. Jamal Fogarty and Ethan Strange in the halves need a big game too. They need to really control this game. You know, the experience that Reynolds and Hunt have, the oldest halfback pairing in NRL history, which I was laughing at before the season started. When I first heard that, I was like, they're not going to do anything this year. They really proved me wrong, and now they've got me absolutely shitting myself. And again, I want to keep this as PG as possible, but I am. That halves combination is really scary. It really is. But that's our team list, and we got to work with it. And if anything, I trust Ricky Stewart. Again, I did tip the Broncos. I'd be happy to be wrong. I'm happy to be wrong. All good there. I already tipped Richmond. Hawthorn's playing tonight. So if we win then, and I've got my win for the week if Hawthorn win tonight. But I would rather the Raiders beat the Broncos. I'm a Raiders fan first and foremost. Every day of the week. Every day that ends with a Y. Excuse me. So what that means is we need to stay calm under pressure, especially inside the 20. They're going to get down there a lot. It's going to happen, but we need to stay calm, stay on our heels, dig in, and hold up the line. I know we can do it. especially with Horsburgh, as fit as he is. Again, we'll talk about Horsburgh later. But I'm really, really excited for this. And I'm for this next key to the game, I'm going to have to look at the NRL app. I should have had this up and ready. Again, organisational skills, not the best just yet, but they will be. I'll get there, trust me. Team lists, I need to see something. Cobbo and Jesse Arthurs. Yeah. So I was right. Watch the wings. Watch the edges because they will be coming down there. And our wingers, obviously, Tamale and Hopawade. So it's scary. It really is. I mean, and then we'll look at the forwards. I mean, Carrigan, Payne Haas. Yeah, the game's over. Yeah, it's not. Yeah, that's not good, is it? Hetherington. Yeah, Payne Haas. I mean, he single-handedly beat the Roosters. I mean, it was the Payne Haas show, and that's scary, man. So that's another key to the game. So obviously, watch the edges, run, stay calm under pressure, be physical, watch out for Payne Haas. And I'm glad he's a Blue this year because he's going to be huge this year. He's going to be a brilliant – he might win the Dally M. I'm putting it out there. He'll probably win the Dally M. He looks so good against the Roosters, and let's just keep him let's just keep him nice and easy. I mean, we've got Horse on him, Big Red. We got Horsburgh on him, so that gives me a little bit of confidence that we can stop him. If anyone's going to do it, it's big, mean Corey Horsburgh. So, yeah, Payne Haas. That's a big one. So let's move on a little bit. So that's the game preview. Moral of the story: Payne Haas is the one to worry about. Let's head straight back to the Milk Bar, everyone's favourite segment. Excuse me. I want to talk about a few things that are a little strange and a little outdated, but I sort of want to talk about a few things here. First and foremost, this Raiders logo, and I know it's old news now. It's a couple of years old. I think this is our second season running with it now. I still don't like it. I try to convince myself I like it. I try, and oh boy, do I try. I can't do it. That logo is a no-go. I am sorry. I would have something on the screen right now. I probably should, but I hate it. And I can't see us changing it anytime soon. I've got to learn to live with it. But it's too cartoony. Like, we had something so good. We had the best logo in the NRL. I'll die on that hill. We had the best logo in the NRL. And now we have one of the worst. Victor the Viking has gone through. He's gone through something. He does not look healthy. Poor Victor. Another thing, I was listening to the Green Machine podcast on the way home from uni yesterday, and I was doing some housework and stuff yesterday while listening to it as well because the commute's not that long, but I was listening to it and they talked about the Viking clap and how, we have something. And I could not agree more. I think it's the best. I love the Viking clap. I've been part of it. Absolutely loved it. It was the greatest thing I've ever and it wasn't a very full stadium at the time. I can't remember what we were like in 2021. I think it was. I can't really remember. All I know is just after my 18th birthday, and we went up to Canberra for it. So that'll give you a rough idea if you want to check out that game. I know we won. That's all I know. And I got a bit pissed. I had about 6 beers. Week. I know. It was my first time really drinking. So cut me some slack. But and another thing, it's like, they were also talking about the chants and stuff. The Wigan fans in Vegas sort of took on Canberra as their team because they were sat so close to each other. And they were just chanting the whole time. And I wish we were a fan base that did that. I really do. Like, it looks like so much fun. Like, I'm a huge Leeds fan, right? And like in the soccer, I love Leeds. Leeds are my team. And they just chant all the time. You know, we take and twist the Leeds are falling apart again thing. Obviously, we hate it when people sing it to us, but when we sing it, it's fine. I hate it as much as the next guy, though. I hate it. Especially against Portsmouth when we lost the other day. Oh, that's all I heard. But, you know, that's enough about Leeds. If I wanted to talk about Leeds, I would have started a Leeds podcast. I really don't want to talk about Leeds. But, you know, the chants in England, the chants in Europe, you know, they're all over it, you know, especially in the Super League, which is a part of the Super League I love. Like, I really want to start watching the Super League because of just the fans and stuff. Like, go Rhinos, you know what I mean? Like, I'll stick with Leeds, why not? But yeah, they were talking about that and how the Raiders fans just don't do it. And I wish we did. I really do. But, you know, you see the teams in like Western Sydney, especially like the Dogs, they love the ethnic backgrounds and stuff like that. Obviously, they would be big soccer fans coming from those different countries and stuff. And, you know, fair enough. And then they take their chants into it. Same with Carlton in the AFL. They love to chant as well. And, you know, fair enough. Fair enough. I mean, but we just aren't that sort of fan base. And I wish we were. I really do wish we were, because it just sounds like so much fun to be part of. Obviously, we have the Viking clap. That's something. That's a step in the right direction. Who knows? Who knows? 20 years from now, we may be sitting here and thinking up new chants for the Canberra Raiders. You know, friggin' 10 years from now. And we're singing, you know, Ethan Strange years are gone. Ethan Strange, I say. Ethan Strange years are gone. Playing football the Canberra way. You know, it may be. Who's to say? Who's to say? I wish. Now, and now we're going to get back on topic to more seething matters now, I think. Yep, that's the thick of it, really. Yep, cool. So that's the stupid stuff out the way I just really wanted to touch on. We look fit. You look at the Instagram, you look at the Twitter, all the training pictures that are coming out. You rewatch the Wars game, you rewatch the highlights. We look fit. We could run all day, and that makes me happy. I like it. I wish I could do that. I can't. I can barely run a lap of a AFL oval. So, and I play AFL, so that's great. But yeah, between all those things and things that Ricky Stewart has said, it's really good to hear. It really is. You know, you look at Corey Horsburgh. He spoke about him in a video uploaded today, I think it was, coach's comments. You know, he talked about Corey Horsburgh, and he said, you know, he was missed last year, but he's fit and healthy now. Obviously, the whole debacle with him and Horse. I call him Horse. I don't know if anyone else does that. Him and Big Red butting heads and stuff like that, and how he was on the way out, they reckon. And obviously, I don't know if that's disproved or not. I hope it was. I don't know if he was actually on the way out, but he's fit and healthy now. He's happy to go. Ricky Stewart even said something along the lines of, I'm the first to say, you know, he was sincerely missed, and he was. He really was. He was missed last year, and he's healthy now. He's fit and healthy now, says Ricky Stewart. Good. He is huge. He will be very pivotal for us in stopping Payne Haas. So let's hope. I just love saying Payne Haas. I don't know if anyone else finds enjoyment in that. I'm ready and raring to watch him, and I hope he's ready and raring to go for tomorrow, because he might be our most important player for tomorrow night. Again, like I said, stopping Payne Haas, his responsibility. So, or so it seems. So let's hope that really, like he's ready to go because he did look fit. He looks fit. Every photo I see, everything I see on him, he looks ready. I don't know if it was him or someone else I heard drop 5 kilos. A lot of people have over the off season. I wish I was one of those people. Now, Jayden Brailey signing with the Canberra Raiders means Tom Starling and or Danny Levi may be leaving the club at the end of this year with Brailey coming in. What are my thoughts? I've been waiting how long for Tom Starling to be the starting hooker of the Canberra Raiders, and now he finally is. But he might be on the way out. And it hurts. He had a big quote about, how he hasn't heard anything about, I think it was he hasn't heard anything about his contract or something like that. I hope that's not the case. I really do. I mean, I love him. Again, he's my favourite player by far. I love him. Like, I love Hosking now, but I always love Tom Starling. I've been calling for him to be our starting hooker for years. We started Levi over him. I think it was last year or the year before, and I was like, why is Starling not starting? What is going on? Like, is Ricky Stewart not seeing where I am or something? Am I the only person in the world that likes Tom Starling or something? And now he's the starting hooker, and we saw what he did against the Wires. Watch what he does tomorrow. Watch. Now, again, I am talking up the Raiders a lot. I do think we keep it to 10-point loss. I think it'll be close. I mean, the Broncos are a very good team. Will we win? I hope so. Ricky Stewart seems to think so, and I trust Ricky. Don't get me wrong, but I don't know, man. I don't like it. I really don't. But at the end of the day, right, we got Starling, we got Levi, we got Brailey coming in. Who do you keep? Because obviously you can probably only keep 2 of them. Maybe just 1. If I'm the Canberra Raiders, I'm keeping Tom Starling. And I don't know how much we've signed Jayden Brailey for. Again, this is all reported at the moment. This isn't this isn't happened yet, apparently. Apparently it's still in the works, but he can still be poached and stuff. But it seems like it's going to happen. Like, it's not set in stone yet, but it seems like it's going to happen. I want Starling to stay, and I want him to be our starting hooker. And Jayden Brailey, great player, solid signing for the Canberra Raiders. He can wear the 14. I want Tom Starling. I want Starlo as our long-term number 9. I want to win the competition and Tom Starling be our hooker. That's what I want. And I will die on that hill, just like our logo is crap, just like I want Tom Starling to be our hooker when we win the comp. When's that going to be? I don't know. Will he be retired by then? Maybe. Who knows? But I want Tom Starling to stay, and if that means we got to get rid of Danny Levi, so be it. Jayden Brailey, come off the bench, son. And obviously we've paid him. We've given him a 2-year deal, and obviously the sweetener is you'll be our starting hooker. That's obvious, because he wouldn't sign if it wasn't. If he wasn't going to be the starting hooker, why would he sign with the Canberra Raiders? You know what I mean? But I just want Starlo, man. I love Tom Starling so much. I might be the biggest Tom Starling fan in the world. And you know what? I'm fine with it. Starlo, if you're watching, mate, I love you. I love you, mate. I love you. I'm about to cry. No. Now, a few blokes I want to talk about. I want to highlight a few guys. I want to highlight a few guys that I think are going to have a huge year for the Canberra Raiders this year. And Seb Chris, first and foremost. And this is where that story of me a few years ago going to Canberra and watching that Broncos game comes into play. Sit next to Mum. She was to my left here. And I said to her, like, they were showing on the big screen, they were showing like the team list and stuff. And up comes Seb Chris, and I leaned over and said, "You watch, Mum. He's going to get first try today." And he did. First try scorer, I think, of the entire game. At the time, my man, what's his name? I can't remember. He plays for the Cowboys now, I think. Oh, no. Can't remember his name. Big, tall fella. Nah. Can't remember his name. It'll come to me. It will. It will. It was a winger. Not Rapiner. Oh, I don't know. We'll move on. But yeah, I said Seb Chris would get the first run. He did. He got a 2, I think. He got 2 in Vegas. He's going to get 2 tomorrow. He's going to have a huge year. He's going to have a massive year, and he's going to earn a contract because I love Sebi Chris. He's going to get up there, though. He's going to get up. Matty Tomoko, I feel like this is a big one. He's just a brilliant player. We are really lucky to have him on the team. I love Mokes. I think he's great. I think the boys love him. From what I hear, everyone loves him. He's a gun. And I think he's going to have a huge year this year in the centres. Wearing Jared Croker's old number, Toots, the number 3. So I'm really looking forward to seeing what he does for the rest of this year. I mean, he's a gun. I love him. And, I'm really excited to see what he can do tomorrow. And I hope he has a big year. I hope it'll be him or Savage, I reckon, that's the leading try scorer for the Canberra Raiders this year. Him or Xavier Savage will be the leading try scorer this year for the Canberra Raiders. So, moving on to our 5'8". Ethan Strange, Mr. Under the Radar himself. He's always in the right place in the right time. He's got a great footy head on his shoulders. He's got a great footy mind. He knows what he's doing. He's learning from Ricky Stewart. He can do it all, that kid, and I'm really excited to see what he can do this year. I think he's going to be a huge piece to what we've got going on in Canberra. And, mate, it's going to be really good times in Canberra this year with him at 5'8". Hopefully he can stay healthy. Hopefully he can get over the line a few times and really show people who he is because, mate, he just flies under the radar all the time. He's always doing the right thing. He always does what he needs to do. And I really appreciate everything I see about Ethan Strange. He's going to be the future number 6 of this club for years and years and years to come. I'm so looking forward to seeing what he has to do. Now, there is a new Englishman on the block in the nation's capital, Mr. Matty Nicholson. Now, Matty Nicholson, he's got some things to live up to. Good on Matty. He's Elliot Whitehead's shoes to fill are pretty big ones. But Ricky Stewart said he's a hard worker, typical Englishman that comes across. And he said the other day, I thought I had a decent chance of playing in Vegas. That didn't work out, but I just kept my head up. Just kept training hard this week. I'm excited to see how I go and to embrace it all this weekend. All the lads say how good it is playing in Canberra. We get a lot of people there to games. There's obviously the Viking Club. I'm running out to that. But I'm looking forward to the whole NRL experience. I've played in the trials, but this will be a step up. And yes, it will, Matty Nicholson. I'm going to keep a close eye on him. I think he will be a great addition to the team. I'm really looking forward to seeing what he can do. The new kid on the block. And that quote right there really makes me feel good about it. And also, Ricky Stewart was saying in the coach's comments earlier today, he was visibly upset that he wasn't selected for Vegas. Mind the dog. And he handled it like a real team man, which is a real clubman mentality. And that is the signs of the next great Raider, the next great POM Raider. And I think he'll do just fine filling in those shoes that Elliot Whitehead has left him. Now, there's a couple of other things I need to talk about here just before I sign off for the weekend. Winning at home and the importance of it is a big thing for the Raiders. We've struggled with it. We have. We've really struggled with it the last few years. But, KO Weeks and Tom Starling have sort of said some things on it. So I just want to share those quotes with you. They are also posted. Same with the Matty Nicholson quote that I said just before. All of them are on my Instagram and Twitter at Milkman Podcast. So if you want to follow there, all these things are on there. Things are going well over there. So go check it out. Go follow if you're new here. So, so Xavier Savage. Sorry, I keep saying Xavier Savage. Tom Starling said it's a good challenge for us in reference to winning at home. It's a good challenge for us. It's good to match up against them and try to get our home season off to a good start and start winning games at home. It's something we've really focused in on. The last couple of years have been pretty poor at home. We've got to fix that for our loyal home fans that come week in and week out. It's a big thing we've been focusing on. We've got to win home games. We would have made the 8 quite easily if we just won a few more home games last year. We've got to try and make this a tough place to come and play. My man, my hero, Tom Starling, hits the nail on the head there. We have to win at home. We would have made the 8 last year if we won at home. And that comes down to the fans as well. And obviously, I'm a out-of-state fan. I'm not in Canberra. I'm not even in New South Wales. So this is on everyone going to the games. This is on every fan that can go to games. We need to make Canberra a hard place to play. And if I was there, I'd be trying my hardest too. Obviously, keep it within, ethics and stuff like that. Don't hurl abuse at the opposition, but we need to be loud. We need to be proud. We need to wear the green with pride. Pretend it's the 90s. That's a good way to do it. Just pretend, Stewart, Daly, and Meninga are running out. Get loud. Get up and about. That's what the fans need to do. KO week. Get back here and have a good home record. It's always a big focus of ours, so we can't wait to get out there on Saturday. Good man, KO. Thanks, mate. And it's true. It is true. We need a good home record. I don't want to lose a single game at home this year. And even though I've just said many times in this podcast, and it's on record on Instagram, Twitter, Instagram twice, and the Twitter post and the Instagram, it's out there. It's even on here on the reels on YouTube. Not so much on. I said on here. Sorry to all the listeners on Spotify and Apple Music, but Apple Podcasts. Sorry, I've said it on YouTube as well. Like, we're going to lose. I think at least we're going to lose. I can't see us winning this game, but what I can see is a good home record this year. Again, please mind the dog. Just a couple more things. Sasagi has re-signed with the Raiders until the end of 2026. Simi Sasagi has said about the Canberra Raiders, I love this club. I love what this club is about. Obviously, when an opportunity arose to say, it was a no-brainer. Stick has installed a lot of confidence in me, and to be rewarded with inclusion in the top 17, I'm grateful and blessed. A strength of mine is being able to cover a number of positions, so if it keeps me in the 17, I'm happy with that. I love Simi Sasagi. I think he's a great player. I hope he stays longer than 2026. I really do like Simi Sasagi, and I like his mindset. I like his work ethic and stuff like that. And when he says stuff like that about the Canberra Raiders, it really helps me feel good about being a fan. It really makes me excited about the future of the Canberra Raiders. Obviously, the last 30 years haven't really been great as a fan. Obviously, we've had a few years in there that have been very good. 2019, obviously, didn't go our way in the end, but it was a great season to watch and a great season to be a part of, especially that prelim game against Souths. I was friggin' shouting. I watched the video again. I videoed it like, well, we're in the final. I can't believe it. I might have to show it on here one time. I'll do that on Tuesday. On Tuesday, I'll get that video sorted and I'll show you. Or you can listen to it. I'll get the audio because it's just me filming the score. I'm not showing my face or anything like that. But I'll get that sorted for Tuesday. I'll write that down so I don't forget. Excuse me. But yeah, it makes me excited for the future. Obviously, we've got some great young talent coming through the ranks, as well as on the field already. And Simi Sasagi was saying that it's a great club and Ricky's got this game plan and, we've got a future ahead of us that I've heard. And, I skipped over something earlier. Maybe I didn't. Oh, I must have forgot to put it in terms of, our future and stuff. Like, people kept counting us out and they said we were going to get the wooden spoon this year. They said we weren't good enough to make the 8. They said we were going to get the wooden spoon. That's the furthest thing from the top 8. And the reasoning I heard for a lot of it was they're too young. Second-year syndrome has come up a lot, especially as a Hawthorn fan as well, if anyone does follow the AFL. This has just been an AFL show today. Holy smokes. But as a Hawthorn fan, I heard it a lot as well this year. Second-year syndrome. Had a great year last year. So did the Raiders, obviously finishing 9th. But if you told me that before the season started, I would have taken that every day of the week because that's all we heard last year as well. They're going to get the wooden spoon. And I believed it last year. This year, I don't. And last week against the Wars, 2 weeks ago against the Wars, showed me that I shouldn't have believed it. And I still don't. But from 9th and the youth that we have and the experience that we gained last year, why wouldn't we be better? Why not us? Why not us? Now, excuse the dog again. He's going nuts. Now, one last thing we'll talk about just quickly is the Jersey Flag game this weekend. New South Wales Cup boys have a bye, but the Jersey Flag boys have the Coyote Silktails. Now, the team is as follows, and excuse the pronunciation for some of these guys. The names are quite fun to say, but we've got Ethan Alea, Tariq Tanner, Reagan Carr, who had a great game last week. Really excited to see how he goes. Atini Tuali, Siamani Lealua, Jalen Afamasaga, Keen Skips, Jake Clydesdale, Xavier Cacchiotti, Caleb Garvey, Jai Purser, Jordan Uta, Jackson Lavender, who I'm pretty sure actually played well last week as well, Mitchell Brophy, Terrell Fiavi, Owen Romero, Shalom, not even going to bother, and Patrick Bro. So, yeah, there's the team for the Raiders in the Jersey Flag competition. Hoping for a win there. Obviously, good win last week against the Warriors. The 50-4 win, I think it was, 50-4. So, should be good. Hoping for a win again. And that'll do it for today's Milkman podcast. Hopefully you enjoyed. Enjoy your weekend of footy. Yeah, it should be a good one. I'm going out again tonight, so I will miss both games tonight, unfortunately. I was looking forward to the... Oh, what game was it? Excuse me again. Warriors the Eagles game, because I wanted to see if Manly could back up their week last week with a big win. And I guess we'd see if we were good or if the Warriors were crap a couple of weeks ago. So sort of really wanted to see that. But Panthers, Roosters, I've already shared my thoughts about that. I think the Panthers will absolutely dismantle them. $1.04 to $11. I've just noticed that. They're giving the Roosters no chance, and neither will I. Panthers are going to smash them. Wars are going to lose. Hopefully you enjoy your weekend of footy. I know I will. Make sure you're following me on Instagram and Twitter at Milkman Podcast. Yeah, that'll do it. And up the milk.